For all those who like to binge, a holiday present for you. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Dr. Stone New World, episodes 8 and 9. We are doing 2 episodes today, and we're doing 2 episodes next week to finish off part 1 of New World. So the first half of this season finishes off with episode 11, and I mentioned this last week, but just to mention it again, due to not really wanting to just have 2 random episodes in the new year, I'm deciding, because I'm already doing that with One Piece, just because I don't really have a choice, because of One Piece's airing schedule. I don't want to do it with this as well, so I'm going to make it so that we finish this by the time we take our winter break. And so that means that this week, once again, 8 and 9, next week, 10 and 11, and then we're good. So that's the plan. That's the goal. We have just these 4 episodes to go, and so we're doing batches of 2. I normally don't like binging through things, and I typically don't like to rush through shows either. Like, because watching 2 episodes a week, I wouldn't really call binging. But it's like, it is rushing through the show a little faster, and I'm not really a fan of that. So, this is something that's not, like, happening all the time. It's not something to, like, expect all the time for the channel. Sometimes I do the last 2 episodes of a season together. Just to make it easier, and just because usually those episodes go together anyway. But that's not even a guarantee either. And again, I don't really like doing that too much. I'm not going to like go into an entire spiel, but for those who haven't heard me talk about it before, the reason basically comes down to I like to stretch shows out. I don't like binging because I feel like it takes away a lot of the power of the show. When a show is released in like a binge model fashion, it doesn't last in the public conscious. It's like people talk about it for maybe a week, 2 if you're lucky, and then it's just gone again. Everybody moves on, and that's really bad for a show's popularity. It's really bad for continuing to spread a show through word of mouth. And all in all, it hurts shows to do this. But all these like streamers and whatnot care about is instant gratification, instant viewership. If the viewing numbers are like super high right away, like within that first week, that's a success to them. Even if the show stops being talked about after that first week, they still feel like they succeeded, like they were like doing it right. But no. If the show has no like staying power, you're not doing it right. And when you have certain shows that you release over time, it really hurts the overall vibe of the series. And it makes it feel more disconnected. And it's like one thing to release like episodes like every month or so, like they're doing with Stranger Things final season currently. But like they've had stuff where they like will release a batch of episodes. It's forgotten about in a week. And they don't release any more for months and months and months. This destroyed the momentum of shows like Carol and Tuesday, Great Pretender, JoJo Part 6. All of these shows were destroyed by this. And it sucks. It sucks ass. Because they're great shows that didn't deserve to have their momentum, like, ruined by Netflix's stupid, like, ideas. But I'm not going to rant about this forever. I really don't want to. I've done this before. When I tend to get heated about something, I tend to ramble. The point is, um, I don't usually like to go through shows quicker because of that. I usually don't like to binge them, and I usually don't even like to watch multiple episodes in a week. Um, that's why you're also seeing like Has Been Hotel being released once a week and everything, despite the fact that I've had it like had the season finished for a while because I want to have that. I want that staying power for the series to persist. But yeah, anyway, um, last episode was pretty cray cray. It was wild because not only are we on the island, but everybody who didn't go onto the island, except Suika, because she was kicked away, got turned to stone. Confirming that the leadership of this island has the ability to do that. Which is pretty nuts. Because the funny thing is, this was just a pit stop. This island was just a pit stop to get the platinum and everything. They weren't here to find the source of the oh my god, mind is blanking. The source of the petrification. They were going to, what was it, South America for that? But instead, they come here and it's like one of the first things they find out is, oh no, they have like at least a source of the petrification. They are able to petrify people, which implies that they might also be able to unpetrify people at will, which means that they probably either know about the same method that our group has been using, or they have another method. Either way, crazy. And then on top of that, we meet this girl whose name I can't remember right now. But she's a bit of a trickster. She seems to really like to use her feminine wiles in order to charm people, to manipulate them to a degree. She seems like she's possibly on our side, but with her natural, like, tricky personality, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, there's the implication that she's only agreeing to get married to the leader of the island for two reasons. One, because she'll be turned to stone if she refuses. And two, because she wants to use this to try and, basically stage a coup. to make sure that the people she cares about are safe. And possibly even bring back those who had already been turned. These are the kind of ideas that seem to be floating about with her, but we don't know how true everything is. It's a little difficult to say. And I'm not saying I don't completely trust her. It's like I just don't know at this point if we could trust her. I'm not like one of those people who are like automatically convinced she's a bad guy. No. I'm just being cautious here. But yeah, it's really interesting, and I'm very curious to see where this goes, because with only 4 episodes of this first half left, we're gonna like definitely be delving into some crazy shit. And I can only imagine like where these 2 episodes this week are gonna leave us off at. Excuse me. So I guess we should just get into this and find out for ourselves. So let's get it started. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So these episodes were mostly the setup, prep, and the selection for getting into this infiltrative space. It's a lot of just, how do I put it? A lot of build-up without much payoff. And a lot of silly frivolity. I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but well, I'll just say it. These episodes were kind of meh to me. And I understand that's the point. It's setting up for the next two episodes. And it's meant to just, again, be set up to introduce the fact that Ginro is there on top of Suika, who we already knew about. It's setting up things for what's to come, and that's fine. That's completely fine. That's completely fair. Obviously, things like what we're going to be getting into need setup, but there's also, in my eyes, issues when you have all this set up and it just feels like nothing has actually happened. And again, it's not even that these episodes are bad. They're just they just don't really do anything for me. Because you have the first of these two episodes, and it's mostly about again, introducing to us the fact that Ginro survived as well, and having him and Suika get the mobile lab out to the others and have them reunite. And it's just I guess the most interesting part is the escape itself and the plan with pretending that this is some stinky beast. Other than that, it's just I don't really have a lot of investment in excuse me, in a lot of the goofier side stuff, or Ginro doing the exact same thing he always does and tries to chicken out but comes around in the end because of something either he hears from Kinro, or in this case believes he does, just because of Kinro's face. And just stuff like that. It's Ginro always goes through the same kind of thing. And it's just, he's one of the weaker characters in my eyes because of it. And I've talked about this before, how I believe that characters going through the same issues over and over again is not necessarily a bad thing, because in real life people do face the same issues again and again. One victory isn't going to magically resolve everything. But it's Ginro isn't actually making any progress with it. It's literally just the exact same joke over and over and over again, with no actual growth, no actual development. And that's the big difference. And it feels old at this point. I'm just not invested in seeing that again and again. It's just that situation where you take a joke too far. And I would rather see him actually make progress and become better than continue to see this bullshit. Episode 9, meanwhile, was about, like, enacting the plan to get not only Amaryllis, but Kohaku and, I guess, Ginro chosen to infiltrate. And the plan involves, like, getting makeup set up, getting everybody looking all nice and, fancy and beautiful. And that's pretty much all the episode amounted to. And it's just like, honestly, it was just kind of boring. It didn't really do anything for me because I'm not a huge makeup kind of girl. Like, I'll wear, like, very simple stuff occasionally, but I'm not, like, big into it. And so with this, like, super focused on that, and whether it's, like, the shampooing or the lipstick and foundation and stuff, it's just like, I don't really care about this. It started to get a little better at the end with the actual selection happening and seeing them, like, having to put on these acts to be picked. And Kohaku almost kind of ruining it. And yet somehow, Ginro not. He somehow just gets it, like, spot on. But yeah, it's definitely one of those occasions where just outside of that ending, and even with the ending, honestly, it just feels like very, very and I wasn't getting into it. Though I did like the part where Mose, whatever his name was, noticed Kohaku about to attack the minister and interfered. But he also made an excuse because apparently, I guess, he's into her because he likes her strength and beauty. And so he's, like, telling her he'll come visit her after all of this is said and done. And they even talk about fighting and stuff in the future. So that was a very interesting conversation. And kind of makes me wonder a little bit if maybe he could be brought to our side. We also have the other girl who was, tricked in episode 8. I don't remember her name. But she was tricked in episode 8 with the entire lab love thing and Kohaku kissing Senku. It actually got her pretty damn flustered. I don't know. I don't get enough from her yet to really determine if she could be moved to our side too. This has been very fascinating so far. We did find out that the petrification is done via these little tools that the user swings in the air and then launches while attached to a rope. And if you don't launch it at the right height, it could, like, cause you to be hit by the petrification beam as well. We don't know exactly what these devices are, how they work yet, but we do know that they exist. And that there is a certain, like, method to using them. They do have a range. And so on and so forth. There's a lot of, like, information specifications we got from that story. So, yeah. Pretty fascinating stuff. But most of these 2 episodes were just this kind of boring setup. And just really didn't do it for me. But I'm presuming that this is, again, because the next 2 episodes, the final 2 of the this half of the season, are going to be much better, much more interesting, and have a lot of stuff happen, because we're gonna be meeting the leader and everything. So the chief, a lot of stuff to be very interested in here. Um, excuse me, but yeah, I I feel like I feel like it's only gonna get better from here, though. Um, so let me know in the comments what you thought of these two episodes. We'll do the next two, the final two, 10 and 11, next week. And then that'll be all for 2025. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.